Hey, this is Neil Ronahan here to talk to you about Hyrule Warriors. I reviewed the game for NintendoWorldReport.com. You can check out a review there. But now we're going to talk about the game. And with me today is Andy Gergen.
What's going on?
So Hyrule Warriors is a game that is coming out in North America on September 26th. It is already out in Japan, and it comes out in Europe at the 19th. I'm not 100%. It might also be the 26th. I'm not even sure. It's developed by Omega Force and Team Ninja. Omega Force is best known for making a bunch of Dynasty Warriors games. Team Ninja is best known for making like Ninja Gaiden and also Metroid Other M. And Nintendo and the Zelda team helped out on this a little bit. Eiji Aonuma is a producer. Andy, I guess as someone, you have not played the game yet, what are your thoughts on Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah, I've actually been trying... I wouldn't say I've been trying to avoid the coverage of the game. I just haven't gone out of my way to look for coverage of the game. I figure, from what I understand of Dynasty Warriors, it's probably going to be a lot of hack and slash. The game probably won't be super deep, so I don't feel the need to, look up too much of the content ahead of time. But, I figure it's going to be a whole lot of stabbing moblins. Maybe
that is what it is.
Yeah, a fair amount of maybe like shooting arrows at Octoroks, that kind of thing. It kind of reminds me of, in a very small way, Link's crossbow training, which was basically a Zelda game completely around shooting things, which was kind of a weird concept, but I really enjoyed it. If I can enjoy Link's crossbow training, I'm almost certainly going to enjoy Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors is way more ridiculous than I think you even comprehend. You first play as Link if you're playing Legend mode, which is the main story mode, and Link he's got a sword, he's going around, he's slashing moblins. But then you build up a special meter, and he does a big special attack that, the sword elongates, and he slashes up everyone nearby, and then you start to unlock other characters and other movesets. One of my personal favorites is the ball and chain, or I think they're called the gauntlets, but you're wearing the gauntlets and you have the ball and chain from Twilight Princess. Link uses this weapon, and part of it is you're swinging around the ball of chain, and if you do a certain combo, then he pulls out one of the pillars from, I think it's the Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time, and then smashes it on the ground and spins it around and throws it at enemies, and it is crazy.
That sounds awesome.
And then the special move for that is I don't know, the world spins around or something like that nonsense. You get a hook shot at a point in the game. You do unlock weapons in a Zelda type progression where it's oh hey, you're in the stage, oh some rocks fell, you need to go get the bombs. Or the boomerang will chop down these vines, you need to go find the boomerang in the level. And then you unlock that and you have those items in any level from then on. But the hook shot, you can use that to do a move in which you hook shot the moon from Majora's Mask and throw it into the ground, hurting enemies. This game is bananas.
That's great.
In all the right ways. You even have Darunia dances when you play as him. That's pretty great. And Impa and Sheik are total badasses.
Awesome. I don't think Impa's ever been playable before, right?
No. Well, I guess, and then Zelda and Sheik only in Smash Brothers.
Sure. I'm pretty genuinely excited for this game. I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game. I don't really know much about it. I can't really even put a finger on why exactly I've avoided them. I think maybe I just tend to avoid all things like Japanese mythology because it's not a fiction that particularly interests me. But as silly as it seems when you take a game like Dynasty Warriors and just put a Zelda coat of paint on it, it does kind of work for me. I'll play just about anything with a Zelda coat of paint on it, honestly, as evidenced by the Link's crossbow training reference from a few minutes ago. I just really like that particular fiction, I guess, for lack of a better word.
And this kind of delivers on that in spades, because it does have a story mode that there's a very Team Ninja-esque villain, Sia, who is an evil sorceress that is wearing something that really shows off her bosoms.
Good.
Which feels like a villain from a Ninja Gaiden game or something like that.
Great. That's what Zelda's always needed more of, is boobs.
Yeah. I mean, and as far as boobs goes, there are a lot of playable women in this game, most of them without as revealing clothing as Sia.
Yeah, I didn't really expect Nintendo would go overboard on letting Zelda hang out of her shirt.
But yeah, the stories, I wouldn't say it's interesting or anything, but the cutscenes look really pretty. And it kind of just delivers on those moments constantly where as far as the way it flows, and I won't talk about the really late game stuff, but the basic setup is that There is basically like this new Link in this other Zelda timeline where there's a Zelda, there is an Impa, there's also a Sheik, who is Zelda, as we all know. Sorry, we should all know this by now. That Zelda dresses up as Sheik. I know, I ruined it.
Spoiler.
But then those characters find out that the villain has gone into different dimensions or something, so then you go into the world of Ocarina of Time, and the world of Twilight Princess, and the world of Skyward Sword. So when you go to those areas, they are areas lifted from those games. Like, you go to the Water Temple, in Lake Hyrule. Oh my god, I can't say that word. That the lake in Ocarina of Time, you go there, where the Water Temple is, and you go in the Water Temple, and you need to hit water switches to lower the water level. It's not as confusing as Ocarina of Time in that regard. You go to Death Mountain, you go to, places from Twilight Princess, you go to Skyloft. It's really fun, and it delivers so well on that Zelda fan service.
How does that 8-bit Zelda map mode go? Is that part of the story mode, or is it a separate thing?
It is a separate thing, and at least for my time with the game, that's probably where the majority of my time is being spent. It's not that Legend mode, the main story mode, it's not that it's short per se, but I mean it's probably sub 10 hours. Like I did replay some stages because you can unlock gold Skulltulas and get illustration bonuses, which are kind of dumb, but I don't know, I like collecting things in Zelda games. It's fun to me. And then the adventure mode, which is the one with the 8-bit map. So the way that works is that you start off, it is a complete recreation of the original Legend of Zelda map, and you start off at the first square, and you have to beat challenges that are in each square, and then unlock more squares, and it's kind of like segmented into where you can go. You need to beat the story mode before you can unlock everything on the map, and even to get to those parts of the map, you need to beat the challenges to get there.
That sounds awesome.
When you go on that map, like, some of them are just like, defeat, 200 enemies in 10 minutes or something. Or, there's bosses here, go beat them. And that's the majority of them. But then, they have this weird one pretty early on where it's like, win the quiz. And you go in there and, you go to different rooms, and then it's like, defeat the enemy who has a wooden shield. And then you need to look at the two enemies in the room, and, alright, that's the chunky thing from Skyward Sword. He's got a wooden shield. I gotta defeat him first.
Sure.
And then there's 3 rooms like that, and then you win the challenge if you defeat the right enemies each time. And then in that mode, you also unlock item cards, which can be used to reveal secrets that are all secrets that you would remember if you are very familiar with the original Legend of Zelda, which my memory of that game's a lot more front-loaded, so as I'm getting deeper into that mode, I'm completely lost. I feel like one of these days I need to go through and replay the original Legend of Zelda completely, as opposed to, every time I go and sit down to play it, I basically play 2 dungeons and that's it.
I haven't played it for probably 3 or 4 years, but I have played it about 10, 20, 30 times in my life. Probably more than 20 times.
Yeah.
So I should be good. I did try to play the second quest a few years back and found myself pretty stumped on that one. But the first quest, I can probably do pretty well on that.
Yeah, I always forget where the different dungeons are, and then I get hopelessly lost. But not in this game. In adventure mode here, it's all pretty straightforward as to what directions you can go. The challenges are different levels, and they get pretty damn hard as you get further into it. But I really like that mode because it does kind of keep you going after the main story. And because of the item cards, there's kind of a reason to sometimes go back and replay stages, because then, you unlock different items that then you can use to unlock more characters, unlock different types of weapons, and all that jazz.
Awesome.
And then there was actually a day 1 update that actually went up, I guess, 2 weeks before day 1. I was playing the review copy, and then all of a sudden I got a notification that's like, oh, there's a game update, and it adds an entire new mode. Called Challenge Mode, that right now, I think the idea of it is that they're going to upload different challenges, maybe on a regular basis or some sort. Right now there's just one challenge which takes place in the Farron Woods environment, and it's basically you go into this map and you have to defend a base. In this case, it is the Deku Tree. And then it'll keep on having these challenges where it'll be like, go defeat these enemies on the map. And if you don't defeat them in time, then you need to defend the tree. And if the tree falls, then you lose, and the challenge is over. But you keep on going as long as you can go. And, I mean, that was just... It's another mode. It's another way to play the game. And the combat is pretty repetitive and hack and slashy. But that's not really where, to me, the challenge of Dynasty Warriors games lies. It's more about, like, managing the map and making sure that, you're defeating what you have to defeat, and making sure that your teammates and stuff that are usually hopeless and terrible, make sure that they don't lose and flee.
Right on. Graphics pretty good?
Yeah, it looks beautiful. It is a hell of an HD game. It makes me even more excited for Zelda on Wii U, because if this is what a spin-off looks like, then I can't wait to see what the next great Zelda game looks like.
Awesome.
It does take a hit when you play the two-player co-op, though, because that's not split screen or online, unfortunately. Well, I guess the split screen, not unfortunately, because you can play it with one person on the gamepad and one person on the TV. However,
really?
The game takes a significant graphical hit then. It still runs fine, but it's just like, it's basically, it's like if you just like smeared Vaseline all over your TV. That's kind of what it looks like.
Interesting. Well, I know we gave Mario Kart a fair amount of slack for not doing that. So not slack, crap, whatever. We did not cut Mario Kart slack for doing that. So
yeah, and I think that I mean, if Hyrule Warriors, which does not look as pretty as Mario Kart 8, if that looks like crap, I can't imagine how they could get Mario Kart 8 to run having like both outputs. Even though I wish they could, but that would have been a challenge, and the game probably would have suffered a lot.
Definitely.
For not having have that.
But
and I guess
I'm pretty
final
stoked.
Final thoughts for me. I guess the sound is also really cool. It basically just has a lot of Zelda butt rock. I don't know, like it's not like I still prefer the original versions of a lot of these songs, but it's fun to just kind of rock out to like a metal version of like Saria's song or something like that.
Nothing says Japanese mythology crossed with Legend of Zelda like heavy metal guitar.
Yeah, it's a pretty rad soundtrack, if I do say so myself.
Cool. Well, I'm pretty excited about this game. I'm not sure if I'll pick it up right away, but I'm definitely looking forward to giving it a shot. I like hack and slash games. I kind of like the monotony of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it's almost like a Sudoku. It's not challenging. It's just something to get that kind of like it's like a muscle memory kind of thing.
Yeah. And it looks so awesome landing those combos, even if you just hit Y 4 times and then pressed X and then something magical happened. Like, the inputs might not be that intense, and you might not be doing anything technically that impressive, but it just looks so damn cool. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors, it's coming out very, very soon in North America. My review score for it is an 8.5 out of 10. If you want to read the full text, you can go and do that at NintendoWorldReport.com. And we'll also probably have more coverage on the game. We're probably going to do some sort of character guide as well. So if you want to know what characters have which weapons and all that jazz, come check us out, and feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube video, let us know what you think about this, and then maybe we'll do more kind of review dialogues like this in the future. Thank you for watching and or listening, and talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Later.
Goodbye.